Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Dogs. I'm Susan Allen Medium. I'm an evidential psychic medium and animal communicator. This podcast is a place to share insights into the spirit world and soulful stories of animals and what they can teach us about a life aligned with love. So grab your mug and let's dive into some magic together. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode with Coffee with Dogs, and I should say some dead people.
Good to include them. Yeah, that's
Good. It's
fair.
always good.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
Good. Stephanie, how are you?
Doing well.
Nice to see you.
You too. Hey, before we get started, I want to make sure that we remind everybody, especially with the topic of today's episode, that we would love to read your ratings and reviews. So, wherever you are listening, there is an opportunity to give a 5-star rating and to leave a review. And you don't have to leave a real name. You can use whatever username you would like. But if you can drop a few notes for Susan so other people can find us out in the podcast world, that would be so appreciated.
It so helps. Like, I'm getting private Facebook messages.
Uh-huh.
I screenshot them and I send them to you.
Yeah.
But no, people aren't, you need to review on the platforms because if you
Yeah.
don't review there, nobody can find us. So
Yeah.
thank you for doing that. Thank you. It means so much to me.
It does. She reads them.
I do. I read
And there's
them.
something like 6 million. I haven't even heard the stats lately, but there's so many podcasts. So it would help us form our little community and find other like-minded individuals when you share the episode with other people and when you write a review.
Absolutely. So thank you in advance.
Today, we're going to talk about more of Susan's process. I think is so interesting. The ideas of communicating during a reading, after a reading, and the idea of validating. I think sometimes when people sign up for a reading, they probably are nervous,
Hmm.
probably always nervous. And what are some things we can do as the sitter of the reading to help your process, or what helps you, what inhibits you, and sort of how this whole thing works when you're reading? Do you get the feeling of the person who you're reading for? Like if I'm super nervous and I'm trying to control it, but I'm all over the map, are you getting that feeling from me? And is it inhibiting you trying to connect to my loved ones?
It doesn't inhibit the connection, but it, like, I'll have all these feelings the morning before a reading, and I'll usually, because it's like I just have no clue sometimes. Like I forget that I am a medium. I forget this. And I forget it almost at every reading. I don't know if it's like ditzy brain or whatever, but I have all these feelings while I'm making my coffee or while I'm letting my dogs out. When a person has a bundled amount of energy, and I'm like, wow, I wonder, like, I literally think, wonder if I should reschedule this reading. And even if I meditate, like, all these feelings are with me stuff. And it's usually when I sit in
Mhm.
front of the person in Zoom and I do my meditation and prayer with them. Takes under
Focuses.
2
Yeah.
minutes, but it just like aligns us, it aligns your guides with my guides, with your dead people, with my guides, et cetera, et cetera. It just puts me back in alignment with the person. And then the next thing I know, I am realizing it is not my stuff. It is their
And it
stuff,
comes in
right?
advance.
It comes
Yeah.
in advance because the people that are booking readings with me are anticipating
Hmm.
all the things as they should, but they should be really thinking about talking to the dead people and saying, so I have a reading. I usually like them to do it the day before. So tomorrow I have a reading with Susan Allen. Like the dead people know, but it just helps solidify. Like be talking to the people you really want to hear from. And 9 times out of 10 in the reading, I'll say, "Oh, they told me you asked them to come in." Yes, that's true. I asked them to be here.
That's a really good point. And that helps, right? You
Oh, yeah,
prepping your people who you want to come through and say, I have a reading tomorrow. Will you come through for this medium?
absolutely. Like give the time, the date, who I am, that I'm in Los Angeles and you're in wherever. But give, and say to your dead people, I really want to hear from you. And keep it concise. And if what I find is if people don't do that, we have like 10 people coming in that just see their light and see that this is an opportunity to say hi. And they're like, well, why would I hear from them? I knew them 20 years ago. It was like high school. I'm like, because you didn't decide who it
You
was. You
just
wanted
opened
to
the
come
door.
in.
Yeah.
And honestly, sometimes it works for them. Well, my readings, they always work. But I think most people would like significant information from one or two particular dead people
Yeah.
rather than a whole consortium coming in. And my room fills up. It's like I just can feel all the souls.
I think I've asked you this before, but how do you decide who to go to first? Or does that energy kind of determine like who's the strongest, who's the loudest?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. It's the energy. And the dead people like stand in line, sort of. Like if they feel like this person has got such a strong spirit, they'll wait.
Mhm.
Like if you had a very strong parent, emotionally, physically, mentally, and they're going to take up the space. They just do. And then eventually they let the other person
When they're
they'll
done.
stand to the side and they'll go, "Okay, come on. I think they really want to hear from you now."
How important is the person you're reading for giving you a yes, no, or details during the reading? What do you prefer? What is most helpful? What do you not like?
I I definitely let spirit lead this, and some people need to tell me the trauma. I don't like it
Hmm.
because then I'm thinking about that trauma instead of thinking about talking to the dead people. I try to move on from it. I like yes, no, maybe, and if they have to tell me a detail, it's like 5 seconds, you got 5 seconds to give me that detail. But what happens 9 times out of 10, right before they open their mouth? I say this with great love. I love my clients so much. I really do. Because you have to love your clients, otherwise, you can't get the connections. Like all my connections are made through love. And what I have found right before they tell me something, I'm about to tell them.
Mm.
So wouldn't it be better to get the evidence from the spirit world rather than you spilling the tea for me? Because if you're sitting there and you're blah, 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 like telling me all this, they don't, they're just standing by and listening to you too.
The spirit, I get it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that leaves nothing for the dead person to
And
say.
they have to work to give me the information, hence the name medium, like we're in the middle. So they have to bring their vibration down, and I have to raise my vibration to meet them in the middle. And it's work for them. So if you're giving me all the info, they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, let me just sit on the couch here." But validation is the one of the most important things because we're so far out. I mean, if you're really a good medium and doing what you're supposed to do, you're so far out there in, I call it love,
Yeah.
getting the messages that you need the person to say, yes, that's right. He did do that behavior and he did look that way. Just easy validation, simple, quick.
Is it ever confusing at the start of a reading who you have? Like, okay, I have an energy, feels like a father energy, but that doesn't mean necessarily that it's a father. Could just be a father figure.
You do want to get that right away. You don't
Yeah. Is
want to
that
be one
hard?
of those mediums. No, you want to it's not hard, but you have to know you're a good medium. You have
Mhm.
to believe in the work that you're doing. And, we talk about those reviews, they really help because I'm so far out there. It helps ground me when I do read, oh, that's right. I may have said that to that person. And they write out what I said. And it's really wonderfully grounding for a medium to get those reviews. They're like that, I consider more paycheck than my
Yeah.
actual paycheck
Yeah.
because here we are using ourselves, you know? And there have been moments that I said, God, this is like thankless. I feel like crap
Mhm.
after, a reading. But you love it so much because when you're doing your job, and this is a job. This is not like an act of God. This is a job. And I work hard at keeping my connection clean and very pure. It's like this, if you're a good painter and you're getting referrals because you paint houses beautifully, like
Sure.
the neighbor down the street referred you, and every now you've painted every house on the block. That's very, very rewarding
Hmm.
because it only makes you trust more. And being a medium is all about trusting what you get.
Hmm.
If you can't trust what you get, you're going to be an insecure medium. You're going to be a neurotic person, and you're not going to be able to help people. And if you have abilities, you need to trust what you get. How do you trust what you get? By being validated. Because we don't know if we're saying, like, we do have a knowing, like I have a knowing. Spirit doesn't let me leave somebody if I get a no. And in every area of my life, if I have gotten a no, I would not, well, except when I wanted to go to FIT and I sat outside the dean's door like for 7 hours to accept me to the program. That was like, I had to do it. I had to get into that school. And I got into the school because I begged the guy to let me into the program. So, when you get no's, 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 and you're a medium, you're in front of an audience. I'm in front of like 15 people, and the woman's like, no, no, no. And I wouldn't leave her alone. And that is not my personality. Like, no, I'm out of here. Really. But in the mediumship world, when her mother's spirit is standing right there and she won't let me leave her daughter alone. And I kept going to her. And what about this? And what about that? I know your mother's here. I know I have her. And then after like, I would say 5 minutes of no's, which
Wow.
in real life might really deter somebody like me or somebody else. The woman finally had a meltdown, not a meltdown, like a good release and crying and yes, that's my mother. Yes, that's you know what I
Hmm.
mean? So then I could feel she got what she needed. And now the soul moves back and lets me move on to the next person or the next
I
message.
see.
Yeah.
I think that brings up a good topic to talk about, which is the mind frame of the people that you're reading for, how to go into readings, the idea of being open to signs and symbols and
Yeah. And I've had to tell people, like, I don't love when I have this occasionally. I don't love it. like somebody
Hmm.
that's never been to a medium. I must have gotten 3 emails from a person. I just need to connect to my dead husband. Like I'm sure your dead husband would show up, but I can't tell them, stop
Uh-huh.
telling me who you want to connect with. They always show up. They do. But when I finally met her, I said, your absolute need to talk to him, it creates like you know how we talked about pets being so buoyant,
Hmm.
energetically buoyant, like angelics. When we create a need and a want so strong, it becomes a block. And I told her that. And I said, I know you want to talk to him. Well, what's going to happen is he's either going to show up really fast or he's going to waltz in. So, how about you remain open? Can you do that? And be open to what you do get, because I know it's going to be very healing for you. And she said, yes. And then I could breathe, she can breathe. We can open with our meditation. It's like under 2 minutes. It's just like a chakra thing that I like to do. And then half the time I screw up the chakras because the dead people are like right there talking to me. So I sometimes just jump right into it.
Is it similar when someone you said is like, it almost creates a block because they want that one person and that one message so badly? Is it similar when people tell you like, I don't have any dreams of him. He's not coming to me, or I'm not getting any signs or symbols. Is that similar too? That they're too fixated on a certain thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the grief. It's the grief. It's like you need your rest. They're not going to be coming in your dreams. But the dead people will tell me, she's dreamt about me. And I said, he's told me you're dreaming about him. Oh, yes.
Do people ever bring items or not tell you that they have an item, like keep it hidden? They like bring his locket or his watch,
Mhm.
or does that happen? And do the dead people tell you like they have this item? You do.
Yeah, I love that. Like this woman was wearing, I couldn't see it, but she had it wrapped around her. And it was a quilt with her son's photos in the quilt. And he was so specific about her having the thing wrapped around her. But then she held it up on camera. It was pretty cool.
Do you, how often, because I know it happens, do people say no or they don't get it, but it makes sense to them later?
Oh, all the time. And I just blow through it. I think that's like my greatest thing. It's a superpower that I don't have. I'm so sensitive that in real life, like in my day to day, I always say that like, if you're super sensitive, spend a lot of time alone, even if you don't like to be alone, spend time alone. It's better and you would get more in your meditations. But it's really amazing when that happens.
What's the best way for people? Should people tell you afterwards? I imagine you get emails like, it didn't make sense at the time, but now this makes
Yeah,
sense. Is that helpful to you?
I appreciate the love. Why it's not helpful is because once I disseminate all of this
Hmm.
to you, I have no
Wow.
recollection. None. I did a reading for a woman. It was an in-person reading. Yes, I do in-person readings. And you can connect with us through the website if you want to have an event or we can figure something out. I mean, if I have to travel, it would have to be for a larger event, but we can help you put one together. And I did a reading for her, and it was like she has a reading every year around her birthday. That's just what she wants to do. And she wants to do an in-person reading. And she emailed Chelsea and said,
That's your assistant.
yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I would have to be all ready and tuned in and turned on. And
in that channel.
that's another reading. That's not like, I can't remember, but that's why reviews are so freaking loving and helpful. And if like you really loved your reading, write a review. If you love this podcast, write something
Yeah.
because that helps others and it also helps me.
Yeah.
Before I knew I was a medium, I loved this art. I felt it more healing than, therapy, quite frankly. And I've read mediums' reviews and I want the evidence. I want to go deep. I won't hire a medium that doesn't have that evidence or that healing ability. Like, why waste your money and your time?
What do you think of taking a look at their content? I mean, some people talk like more dark things, some people talk only light. Yeah, there's a lot out there.
Yeah, which it doesn't work for me. I just think that mediums, if they're working too much, they can get dark and energetically drained. So they'll just say, things that I don't think is really your dead people. I think they're adding how without them knowing, I think they're adding how they feel into the reading as opposed to getting clear messages. Mediums that are working 8 hours a day, 5 days a
Yeah.
week, no bueno for
I've seen it
me.
on TikTok.
You're paying what you are paying for is a medium that takes exquisite
Mhm.
care of themselves. Because in order to do this work, you have to be walking in nature, eating healthy food, like all the things to take care of the instrument, having downtime, laughing, seeing friends. Like you cannot, because you will burn out, you become ill, and you won't want to do it.
Would you suggest, especially for someone looking to get a reading or connect with you, to maybe go to a group event or something like that before doing a one-on-one?
That's up to the person. I feel like trust your gut, trust your intuition. Like I've had people come to an event. My last event, we had 25, 30 people, the Christmas event, and people
Yeah.
would book privates after that. So that's just up to the person. I had a lot of newbies, which was fun. And I ended up reading the newbies because I can't figure out who I know and who I don't know. I mean, even if somebody's in front of me over and over again, it would take like 10 times for me to realize that they've been. I know it sounds crazy, but I just don't remember people. I think I remember pets and animal names and the breed of the animal more than I remember people. And it has nothing to do with my love for people or not loving them. But I just like, I go crazy for animals. It's like in my own
Yeah.
personal life, like that's my thing. My husband is like he's like I don't know how he keeps the levity here. Let's put it that way. Like I'm now wanting squirrel boxes to keep the squirrels safe. And I'll just be like, yeah, do you know you'd be breeding rodents? Like he's just the equalizer, not rodents.
He's the practical logic, and you're seeing like the little home sweet home for the squirrels to
Yeah, it's
live
like I'm
in.
feeding them and I'm fattening them up for the hawks to come get. I want them to have boxes.
I get it. Have you ever had the experience of someone who comes to you for a reading? I want to talk about this so people don't do it, basically. Is the like no, like they're testing you more than listening to their message?
Oh God, I had a girl. Yeah, it was funny. It was a huge group event, and she comes in. I'm reading her dad, and she's going, yeah, yeah. She's all excited. And all of a sudden, because she cannot suspend her disbelief and get healed. So what does she say to me? Well, what car did he drive?
What?
Yeah, like, and I just said, if that was important for him to tell you, I would know. they're not interested in proving life beyond death. They're not interested in proving. I'm interested in proving it. I'm interested in giving, I swear I'm a Pisces, but I've been told I act like a Virgo. Like I feel like I'm a Virgo because Virgos want, like, isn't that true about Virgos? Is this true?
Perfection.
Like,
Yeah.
yes. I don't think I have any Virgo. I'm all water, except I think my rising is, I want to say Gemini.
Oh, a lot of mediums have Gemini because it has to do, the twins are more like seeing this life and the other side.
Oh, I didn't
So a
know
lot of
that.
mediums have Gemini stuff.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. Something I've noticed. When people test you or they're testing their dead person, it's like a little weird, right? Like, don't they want,
Yeah, I think they're like, especially if they're feeling a lot. I don't get that a lot. I don't get it a lot. And I think it's a misuse of the medium and a misuse of your time and money.
absolutely.
Even with animals, well, I had a woman say, well, can you make my dog right now walk across the room while I'm on Zoom with you? I kid you not. And I'm like, no,
No.
I'm not going to do that. Because the beauty of this work is like being a painter. You're in flow.
Yeah,
Like when you're painting a canvas, you're absolutely in flow. That's how you want to be. I don't want to be in my head worrying about somebody's the car that their dad drove, make, model, and year. I mean, that's
right.
if it's important, well, your sister's here and she's showing me a car and she's showing me she's walking across the street. My sister was killed in an automobile crash. It was a hit and run. That's significant that they would show me a car and a stop sign and
Yeah,
all of that. And I get images and I get words, and it just depends on how that spirit is communicating too. It's not just all the
yeah.
medium.
Can we talk about group readings and the vibe? Sometimes I think it's cool to watch when you've got a group of people who are not just so focused on their own messages, but they're getting glimpses of messages of other people. And we call them like spirit winks or postcards because something you say relates to them too. Like when you're in a group
Yeah.
setting and all those people are hoping for the best for the other people there too, I guess. Is there just a vibe?
It's actually, I don't know if you know this. When I do a group reading, I always say, I want you to, because we're in like Zoom
Right.
most of the time, right? And but I love in person because the energy is crazy, amazing in person. And we're in a Zoom room and we're all in these blocks. And I say, the person that you see next to you in that little grid, say a prayer for them that they get exactly what they need because it's lights you up when you're thinking about somebody else with great love and compassion. And I've gotten people saying it was amazing. It was my first time and I didn't get a reading, but I listened to everybody else's and it was really good. Or I know you were talking about me when you mentioned the German Shepherd or the man that walked with a walker and a cane. And I've had that happen. I've gone to mediumship events, going back 20 years ago. And you leave and you feel invigorated, or you've been in like a holy experience, like everything is elevated. So, yeah, people get amazing things from just being present in a large group
Yeah.
event. I try to do as many readings as I can, but it's spirit. It's up to spirit.
Well, this one flew by. So many questions. Where can everyone find you to attend a group event or to do a one-on-one?
This did fly by. SusanAllenMedium.com.
Awesome.
And of course, Coffee with Dogs podcast, don't forget to review that one, please.
Well, Susan, thank you.
Thank you, Steph. You asked the best questions. I love them. See you next time. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Coffee with Dogs. I'm your host, Susan Ellen Medium. I would love for you to rate and review the podcast wherever you listen. This helps everyone find me. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. From my soul to yours, and from our animals to us all, until we meet again.